actually. Follow our podcast on Facebook, Twitter handler, and on YouTube live as well with the very talented country music singer Kirstie Kraus. Is it Kirstie Kraus? Have I pronounced it right?
That is it. You
It is.
pronounced
It
it.
is. It is.
Yes.
It is. Yeah. And yeah, so you have been really busy, and obviously with the stuff you're doing and the music which you're creating, and obviously you're from Nashville, which yeah. So that's the part I've been checking out. So you're Nashville, and obviously it's about 3 years. How long has it been
It's
you've gone into
it's
music?
it's crept up on me. With the whole COVID year, everything feels like it
Yeah.
was just 3 years ago. Like it almost feels like that
Wow.
year doesn't exist. But it's been 4 years now. Coming up
Wow.
on October 3rd, will be my 4-year anniversary of being in Nashville full time, and it's just been amazing. It was a
Yeah.
place that I always knew I was gonna move to and live, and now I'm here for the. I will always have a home and have home base be in Nashville.
Yeah, and but did you before you went into the into music? Did you know anybody down there? I mean, when you moved and you said, "Okay, I want to go into music. I want to go
Uh,
into." Is it? It would be. Am I right in saying country music? Is that right? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I actually knew. So I started traveling to Nashville. The first time I came, I was 11, and then I started doing more like thinking about a magnet school actually
Right.
that was very music focused, and my whole entire family was considering moving to Nashville at the time so I could go to a special middle school just for music. And we ended up
Right.
not making that decision and staying in Wisconsin, but where I'm originally from. But I started making regular trips when I was 15 and writing with people and just really trying to hone the craft of writing, which now full circle, I have other artists, other female artists that are their management companies are reaching out to me
Yeah.
to get with them to write a song for them, which is insane
Wow.
to me. And but I think that's a huge goal of mine. Is like Johnny Cash, they keep digging up songs that he's written in this catalog of all this whole entire catalog of songs that he has, and now that he's passed, they keep finding this music. That would definitely be something that I would love
Yeah.
to like that people care so much they want to dig into my catalog and hear all the stuff that's not released. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, it would be amazing. And so in those so how long did it take you when you started music to get those connections and get people to say, okay, this girl got a lot of talent. Let's give her a chance. Let's work with her. How long did it take
Oh,
for
I
that to?
mean, as far as the songwriting, I think community
Yeah,
goes, it's almost like this underlying once you hit a certain number of years in town and you've proven yourself, like it's got to be like over that 3 year mark where people start taking you seriously because there are a lot of people that move into town and last 6 months, right? That's the majority of people that move to town. They last about 6 months and they realize, oh wow, the music industry is a lot harder than it looks from an outsider's perspective. There's so much more work behind the scenes that's involved. And then the next tier, I would say people last like a year. But after you hit that 3 year mark, you're really kind of in your stride as far as you know what you have to do to get there, you know what you have to do to
yeah,
get to your goals, and you've like made made enough sacrifices almost. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you
absolutely,
just
definitely.
automatically prove yourself when you've been in
It
town
is.
after that 3 year mark.
It is a
Yeah.
big sacrifice, though, isn't it? I mean, it is. It is like any entertainment sector when you, especially music as well. And obviously, when you're going in a place which, even if you have a few connections, it's alien to yourself because it's totally different to where you've been brought up with your family everywhere, and you're going there. You're starting from the
Yeah.
bottom, trying to get to the where you want to get to.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's been amazing journey. But people, I guess, don't realize. there are struggles across the way as well, and there's a lot of hard work
Oh
to
yeah.
get to that place where you can say, okay, I've released my single, and the audience it's gone to the audience now. So, how long did it take you to get that first single out and to
Mm.
finally release it?
Yeah, so I moved in October 3rd, and then it was till of 2018. Then it was like May of, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. I think my mom's tuning in. Also, hi Deborah from Wisconsin. But it was at least like a year and a half till I got my first single out. And now I feel like every time you release a single, you
Yeah,
learn so much more. So I'm able to, my mailing list has grown, and I'm able to reach more people like yourself and a bunch of brands, over in the UK and Australia, which is amazing. Um, but it definitely took me a little bit to find my sound. We took a lot of time in demoing the song and trying instruments with it and like where the song is going to sit. And I knew for my first single that I put out was called Delusional, super funky, super throwback. I knew that
wow,
I was going to go ahead and do something that was completely out of the box. I have never been a person to ever take the easy route whatsoever. So I knew I wasn't going to put out a cookie cutter song right away. I was going to
yeah,
make people be like, wait, what? What is this? It's like country lyrics and a melody on top of this like funky throwback vibes. And I definitely got, I think, a lot of attention, kind of like almost like, what is she going to do next? Like, what's next for this young artist that's trying to make a footprint in, Music City? So that
yeah.
was not the norm, but I decided to go that route, and I tend to write a bunch of things. So you just never know what I'm going to release in the future.
So the single itself, you've written it yourself, all of them. Is this your third one or?
This is my bird that you were
Yeah,
just watching the video before we went live on
yeah,
Facebook.
absolutely.
It went live last night, so anyone who's tuning in, make sure to check out the official performance video for my latest single, Bird, on Facebook.
Absolutely. And I will quickly mention
Yeah, leave some links.
Kirstie, yeah, so KirstieKraus.com is your official
Yes.
website, where everyone can see your interesting bio, all the information, everything is posted on there, which I found really good. Your website is very
Oh,
easy to
thank you.
navigate, and there's loads of information on there on where you can listen to your singles as well, Spotify and stuff. So there's loads of information on there. I think, I don't know if you, I'm sure you would agree with me. I think the first major country music singer, would that be Shania Twain? Would that be right?
Ooh, yes. Yep. Her
Yeah,
and Leanne Rimes were the
Leon Rimes.
first women to
Yeah,
come into my life that were like, brought me over to country, brought me
yeah,
from Celine Dion and Gloria Stefan to
Celine
Amy
Dion,
Grant.
absolutely.
I loved her. And then Whitney and Christina Aguilera, and I was jamming to all those females. But
Oh yeah,
then
yeah.
Shania Twain and Leanne Rimes really pulled me into country music.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I remember listening to Shania Twain and then Celine Dion as well. And because I listen to a lot of different music, world music and stuff, as well, because I think it's really good to listen to different types of music, and whatever is good, I will definitely listen to. And country music is one which I still listen. I listen to now as well,
Yeah,
and stuff. And that's where I came across uh, your information on Facebook as
I
well,
love it. I
because
love it.
that's what the aim was for the Talent Spotlight podcast, was to promote female talent
Right.
in music and writing, and and on other areas and that kind of stuff, and women who are making a difference like yourself. and bringing them and giving them, even though they may have a spotlight, giving them an extra spotlight in the area, and that was the aim of the podcast.
I love that. And I
Um,
love that you are taking a chance on bringing me on, especially as a female artist that's just trying to pave my own way independently, not on a label, and also just continue to do my own sound. And I think Shania and Celine Dion and those two that you listed, they both are so much their own sound. And another girl that I love that I know people love in the UK is Cam. And I think
yeah,
although Cam is widely accepted, she has her own sound, and I she's very highly uh, just regarded in Nashville for doing that and creating her own path, like Casey Musgraves. Her their own sound, staying true to themselves, and that's the lane that I want to go. I'm in this for the long
yeah.
run.
Yeah, so yeah, like you're saying, you've been inspired by these artists, which is fantastic, and it's great to be inspired. But you've created your own identity, which is important. Because if you sounded similar to someone else, then there will be some certain people which will say, okay, he's too similar to Shania or she's similar to Celine. You know what I mean? Then it
Yeah.
wouldn't be your identity on there, which is important. But I think you've already done that, which we've seen. Uh,
Thank
and
you.
obviously, I'm not listening to the other singles, which I'm going to do as well soon. But the one I've listened to, you can tell is totally different to Shania Twain or Celine Dion. So you've already created that on there. And what kind of in country music? I think they'll probably have country music charts and stuff. So what kind of response have you received from the music charts and the people in general? What kind of feedback are you getting?
Yeah, I mean, every time I've released singles off of this, just since I've been in Nashville and off of this upcoming album, which is called Yes You Can, the Women of Country have put it on their playlist. I just got on
Wow.
the Next in Nashville and Sounds Like Nashville playlist. So that is extremely encouraging, especially when
Yeah.
you're putting your heart out there and you know that it's really your lane of art, and to have people accept that and put it on certain playlists and have radio stations add them is it's just really rewarding. It feels that much more special. So Bird is a really sassy song. I
Yeah.
guess most people don't really write
Yeah.
about not flipping people off, but we had fun writing it, and I'm really glad that it's been well received, and we've come up, now with the iconic like this at the end, and to see people at live shows do that with me is it's just been really fun and funny, and I hope that my hope is that people stop flipping, people off, and just like let it go. Like if
Yeah.
there's negativity that comes in, just let it go and let it roll off your
Oh,
back and
definitely.
let that person move on, and you do you.
Yeah, there is a lot of negativity around, and obviously, and a lot of other stuff which is happening, obviously with the COVID and all that kind of. There has been a lot of that, but music is a way to obviously escape that, and obviously, bring the positivity back. Uh,
Absolutely.
and
And just to forget about everything. Like I was just in a festival last weekend with Kip
yeah,
Moore, and Kip said it best. There was a moment where he was like, I've been doing live shows now for about 2 months, and being here right now at Country in the Berg, it's never felt like this. Um,
right,
it's been a long time since it's felt like this, and he's like, and this is how it should feel. I can tell that a bunch of you out there are present, and you guys are just we're having a connection and a heart to heart, and that's what live music is all about. And it really was quite a moment he created in saying that whole speech, and it really just brought me into the moment even more because he took time to like point it out, and it was really, really special. Hey everyone, we see your comments. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, everyone, from tuning in, from all social media, from Kirstie's uh, sharing pages uh, to, to our talent spotlight pages. Thank you very much, everyone. And yeah, absolutely, there's a lot of comments coming through. So yeah, so are you for this new single? Which when was this released?
This single Bird
Yeah.
was released a couple like I think it's been like 2 months, and now we have the performance video, and we are well under our way for plans to release the rest of the record. So I have 4 singles out, and when the record comes out, there will be a total of 11 songs. So it's a
11.
full
Wow.
length record, and if you can actually get it on my website, and it has
Okay.
its own store, and the printed copies of the record will be signed, and then they also have 2 bonus tracks on them, which are my first 2 singles I ever put out, Delusional and Gotta Do. And that's just been super fun being able, I've shipped this to Germany, to
Wow.
Indonesia, to Australia, like a bunch of different countries. This past year, since I've had printed copies of the record, and
Yeah.
you can also, there's brand new t-shirts that were just posted on my website for Bird. And shout out to Mitch Max. They printed and designed t-shirts that say "You don't deserve my bird" on them, and they're just super fun. And they got the little swivels on there when I
Yeah.
like the way I sing it. But definitely, I'm about to really push out those new t-shirts, and I'm about to get some in the mail myself. So I'm super excited that they were willing to come on and make t-shirts to go along with the new single.
That is really a good idea as well, to release the merchandise, the t-shirts
Yeah.
with the single as
With the
well. So that's not
video, and
yeah,
it just gives it extra life as
it
well.
does.
And I've had
It
people
does.
message me and say that they can't wait to get their shirts in, and it's been really cool, and they've been pushing it really hard on their website and their social media. So I love that support, and I love the t-shirts. They're really fun.
Yeah, and I can see from the comment section how much love you're generating already,
Oh, my Thursdays.
which is great, which shows that you are connecting to the audience, to the people. So I think that's definitely the key. And when I spoke to uh, another music artist earlier, she was saying the same thing. That obviously is important, obviously, to connect to to your audience and everything.
It keeps me
So
going. It
it
like
does
literally, there are
absolutely.
certain people that will message me maybe once a day or every couple days, and it really does keep me going. Like that is like literally the encouragement to be like, I see you, and I'm loving what you're doing, and just keep going. And yeah, that's my motivation. It helps.
Just and we just had a comment now saying, "Let her sing." Um, but yeah, yeah, this is an interview, guys, so I do apologize. But yeah, but I'm sure we will bring Kirstie when we have a chat next time. We we may be
Yeah.
able to then do it where Kirstie can sing, and if she wants to play, she can play as well. Which
Yeah. And feel
yeah,
free, like if you want to, like share the performance video that you're watching on Facebook. I know that there's certain ways to play videos at the end, maybe, or I don't know,
yeah,
but
yeah,
otherwise, go check it
absolutely,
out.
absolutely. And yeah, I mean, what I would say is regarding yeah, definitely. And yes, you send me the link actually to your video, because then I will share it via
Awesome.
my social media as well. on there. So yeah, but it's getting a good response, definitely from the social media. And social media is one of the key uh, places where you can get a live response from people, uh,
Hmm.
and the interaction. That is it working? Is it good? Is it bad? Whatever feedback you're getting, you're getting a lot of feedback, and majority of it, it does seem to be good, which is
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I lean on that to on live performances and virtual performances to see what the interaction is on songs. And I as soon as I write a song, I try to like add it in, especially if I love it. I'm like, let's start playing it immediately. And so there's a new song called Frames that I've now played live and on a virtual stream last night with Canadian artist Tegan Gaze. And
Yeah,
the response has been really, really positive for that song. And I know I feel strongly for that song, but to see the response when I perform it and get that feedback, it makes me love it even more because it's connecting with people. So that's definitely a song that is in the forefront for something in the future, whether recording it or just do a live performance of it, like a video. But yeah, I look to that. I definitely look to that, the response in the comments and in live shows for songs.
so at the moment, are you, like you said, you were having concerts, so for for this single Bird, have you started doing any concerts, or are you able to tour now with the what's happening with the COVID is still ongoing situation in the USA? Are you able to talk? And
Yeah, it's dicey in parts, but there are other parts like New York. New York's like the biggest city in the U.S. and we're going up to that area. We're going up to upstate New York this next weekend, and that will be actually my first time touring in that area. So I'm really excited. But they are still able to do live performances. Just when
yeah,
you are in the city, they ask you to wear masks.
yeah,
So it's just depends on what the business is offering. A lot of times I've been able to still do performances as long as they are outside and everyone can have their own personal space and feel comfortable. So that's kind of how I've been able to still do performances and do performances this summer. So I just went to a festival up in my home state and then also did a
yeah.
winery. And so I've been able to tour, but we are getting ready for 2022 and just emailing those big festivals and hoping to be a part of the lineup for 2022. So if you guys know anybody, let me know. I will reach out to them and try to have our team get everything booked.
Is that and what about abroad touring? Is that anything in the plan in 2022 in
What do you mean?
UK
Abroad. You
abroad?
know, I have been. I've never been over across the big pond, is what I call it, and I really, really want to. That is I feel like I was talking to Country Chats with Dom, and he does a lot over in the UK. And I've had the British CMAs be really supportive of the new music, so that's amazing. I really want to get over there, and I feel like by the time I get over there, I want people to be like, "What? She's playing in the UK?" These are dreams, but I'm working on it. I feel like I'm constantly, as much as I'm talking to people here in the US, I'm talking to people in the UK and Australia and Canada. So that's the goal, is to just be an artist that is able to tour and get to like have my music bring me all sorts of places. So the UK is number one to plan a tour.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll I'm sure it'll happen for you soon. I mean, like you said, it's you've already done so much in those 3 years already, and obviously international touring that will definitely fall into place soon for you. Absolutely. regarding that. The music itself, is it your own music label which is bringing it out, or is it like is it a s- like a separate music company which is releasing your music?
Yeah, it's so I have contractors like a PR company, a graphics person, some of them are contracted to play guitar for me, but the
Right,
music is released under Kraus House of Entertainment, which
right,
is what we own. Like my last name is Kraus, as an
yeah,
English tuber. So Kraus House Entertainment, that's what the music is released under. So it's completely independent, and I'm essentially running my own label right
wow,
now. And just like Grace Potter, are you familiar with Grace Potter? Amazing artist. Check her out. Check
wow,
her out.
yeah,
She is
yeah,
not country. She's like soulful rock kind of thing. But she really ran her own business and ran her music independently till she reached a point where she was getting 15 grand a show, had her whole light
wow,
set up, everything. And then she was able to negotiate with labels and get the kind of contract that she really looking for, where she had more say in what music she wanted to release and what her artistry, protect what she wants to do with her artistry. And I think that is the path for me. When the right deal comes along, I will move forward with that. So far, it hasn't yet.
yeah. But that's still, it's still very impressive to have your own music label and under your own surname. That's impressive because not many in the UK are able to do that, and even in the USA, I'm presuming will not be able to do that. So that's very impressive to do that at an early stage in your career.
Yeah.
That's really already
Right
something.
now, I am
Yeah,
developing an artist called Rob Reiser, and I foresee myself in the future bringing more artists on to the label and running my own publishing company and the whole thing. So it's been a joy to be able to be so hands on with my career, and just the amount of doors that has opened since I've been here in Nashville, and the amount of people I met. I am keeping spreadsheets. I am keeping track of all of that and making sure that I follow up with them, and I have a very, very supportive family when it comes to all that stuff. So I wouldn't have been able to do as much as I do here in this town without them. So shout out to my family, and it was so good to see them last weekend for the my hometown performances. They got to come backstage with me and just be a part of the whole thing. So it was really, really fun.
so when, I mean, you started about 3 years ago, but going back before then, when was it the time when you said, I want to be a musician, I want to be an artist, music singer? What,
Yeah.
when was that? Was that an early age or?
Oh yeah. So I have a photo. Let me see if I can get this for you. But I have a photo where I declared when I was 6 years old that I wanted to be a singer. And I
Right.
started actually performing when I was 2 years old. I was jumping up on picnic tables and singing. But when I was five, I started getting solos. And then when I was 6 and 7, I started doing plays, dance, piano, church festivals, singing at church. uh, when I was 10, I would go up to bands and be like, "Hey, can I play to my little CD tracks during your break?" And I
Wow.
would sing. So I declared very early on that I wanted to be a singer, and this is what I was going to do. And I firmly believe that the music bug, it's like not a choice. It's planted in your heart before you're born, and there are certain people that
Yeah.
it's just they have to do it. And I I believe that was me. I think God put that in my heart, and it's just something that I have to follow and see through. I really, really want to show you this picture. Oh yeah, here it
Yeah.
is. Okay, let me see. So
Wow.
it says, "When I grow up, I'm gonna be a singer." And Lola Lola. I don't know what song that was, but apparently my little self thought that those were lyrics to songs.
That's when you were 6.
Yep.
That's great, that is. But obviously we hear a lot of kids when they are 5, 6, they want to be a singer, and some obviously they are able to get to that level. Some maybe it's not meant to be, and then they have a different profession.
Right.
That's can be that can happen for different reasons and stuff. But for yourself to want to be it when you were, and that's such an early age, and then
And then
staying on the
still,
same path, staying on the same path all the way, and then doing it, that makes it even more impressive. That was because a lot of people, when they grow up and they get to the age of 11, 12, they use, or even 15, 16, they change the idea, their plan in their head and go, actually, I want to be something else, or I want to go
right.
into another direction altogether. Uh, but obviously you didn't. You were all on the same one. You already made your mind up from an early age. This is
Yeah.
something which I really like. But when did you break that to your family? Like, this is what I want to do.
So it was okay. So the activity, like I was doing sports growing up too. Like I had to try them all. So I even did soccer and softball and all the sports, but I always did music activities. But it wasn't until I started making I'm a planner. I get that from my parents. So I
Yeah,
started making the trips. Then I went to college and I got a business degree knowing that no matter what, I'm gonna run my own business. But I knew that I kind of took a break then for a year and a half. I did a corporate job where I wasn't really doing any music. I was performing 3 times a month, and to some people they'll be like, hey, that's still music, but for me that was like not that many performances as what I'm used to doing. Like I now perform basically almost every day, doing
yeah,
something. And so 3 performances a month felt like I was taking a break. And then it was after that I was like, this doesn't feel right. I can't. I need to slowly work it back in where that's my primary career. And so I started making decisions where jobs were more flexible with my time. Or, I
yeah,
eventually worked part time at an IT company, and I was actually doing their like accounting and HR and admin stuff, like the back end things to keep the office running. And he was awesome. My boss let me clock in and out and take phone calls, take booking phone calls, and essentially book myself a
yeah,
full summer where I was able to not go full time with them, but go full time as an artist and full time with music. And that was really the point where I was like, hey, parents, like, this is happening. Like, it's time. This date, we need to celebrate and never look back. And it took a little bit for them to, like, fully get on board, but it was I I don't regret it whatsoever. I think being your own boss and fully putting music is something you need to put 110% in. And so once I was able to do that,
yeah.
I felt like I could continue at a full steam rate and just started seeing opportunities come in.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you didn't give it 110%, you probably, I don't think anybody, especially when they're going to in the entertainment area, would be able to get to where you're get, where you're what you're achieving and what your aim is. Because obviously it clearly shows you have a plan of what you want
Yeah.
to do and where you want to get to.
And I
Uh,
think that's how you get asked for things, especially in this town. People see how hard I'm working and they see that I'm reliable, and every time
Yeah.
I sign up for something, I'm showing up and giving it my best. And so that's why I'm asked for things. Like recently, there was at the Basement East, which is such a cool venue in town, there was an 80s female rock charity event where essentially me and 15 other females in this town dressed up like rockers and covered, Eurythmics
Wow.
and Annie Lennox and things like that. And it was just such a cool event to be a part of, and I was honored to even be asked, you know?
Yeah. Wow. That's great, that is. To do that. And so you're firmly based in Nashville. Is it Nashville? You're based, yeah?
Yep. Yep, I'm
Yeah.
on the west side of town, so it really takes me like 17 minutes to get in downtown proper, like where all the buildings are.
17 minutes. Oh, that's at least that's not
It's
too bad.
so perfect. It's
Yeah. It's,
perfect. Yeah.
it is. That absolutely, that is perfect.
And where are you
Uh,
based out of again?
I'm based in the UK in a small place called, it's a West Yorkshire. The county is West Yorkshire in a city called Leeds.
Okay.
That's where I'm based at the moment, and it's totally pitch dark now
Yeah,
down
you're
there.
a night owl. I was going to
Yeah,
ask you about that
I'm
because
a night owl. So if
1 a.m.
I wasn't chatting to you here, I probably would be on YouTube checking something
Oh,
now, because I don't sleep early. I can't sleep early at all.
okay.
I don't shut early at all. So I've given up trying. It doesn't work for
Yeah.
me.
So you
So
might
it's
as well
just,
do interviews.
yeah, exactly. So I thought, so when we chatted and on via email and stuff, and you said, and I checked the time difference, and then I was thinking to myself, I'll be awake anyway. I
Yeah, yeah,
won't
yeah.
be asleep.
Maybe that's your
So
thing is to reach out to the U.S. artist, Nashville artists or whoever.
yeah, I,
Then
I,
you'll
I
be
definitely
up
want to.
still.
No, I definitely want to reach out because I've been, like I said, I've listened to a few recent artists. I think hopefully I've said this right. Yeah, Ashley Sisters. I think the names are. There's a
Ashley
group called Ashley
Sisters.
Sisters.
Okay.
So I've listened to a couple of singles from them, and then there's another one I'm listening to. I've just forgotten her name. Actually, it's just gone out of my head. But her singles good. Obviously, then I've listened to yourself just
Yeah.
as well, and I've been checking your social media, and it's all. I found it really good, and then after that, when I checked it, I sent you that message after that. But yeah,
Well, if you get out, like if I get to tour over there, I will for sure let you know and all the
yeah,
details. I
absolutely.
know a lot of my friends in Nashville that do tour over there that I can point, uh, give you their Instagram handles and all the things if you want to reach out to them as well. That way you
Yeah,
can like
absolutely.
meet them in person. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of fun to be
Oh,
able to do that.
definitely. Oh, definitely. I definitely would love to meet him in person because that would be great as well to meet him in person and the stuff and interact with them. Because I think everyone has their own story on how they have reached, and I think and loads of people want to listen to the story. They want to see who they are watching, who are they, the singles they're purchasing. They want to know more about them, and so obviously for you to have a website where people can access, that makes it easier for people, I think, to access your
Yeah.
and know you more personally, exactly how you started and how to listen to your music as well. Makes it easy for people.
Yeah. And I think just part of my story that I don't normally share that often, and I don't, like you hear it happening to singers like Faith Hill or having to get surgery on their vocal cords. Luckily, I didn't have to get surgery, but when I was 17, I had to go to the ear, nose, and throat doctor and have a stethoscope down there, and I actually had
Wow.
nodules. And nodules are the calluses. They were essentially calluses on my vocal cords, and so they advised me to not sing or talk for 3 months when I was in the middle of high school. And as you see, I'm a very outgoing person now, so I'm sure you can try to like think about me as a high schooler. I was very outgoing, and to be told that I couldn't talk for 3 months, uh, that was at minimum that was quite an interesting time of my life.
Yeah.
And I think at that point I could have given up singing altogether, but instead, once I was able to heal and start getting back at it, I went to a special voice teacher to help reteach me how to sing, and really was patient with it and worked with it, because I I had it was kind of like a dancer with a broken leg, you know, and I just was determined to get it back
Yeah.
and get it back in a place where I was singing healthily again.
So did that happen because you sang a lot at that
Yeah,
time?
I
Yeah.
was I talked a lot, I was singing a lot, I was in show choir where you were like over projecting and pushing too hard, where your vocal cords were like slapping together instead of just like vibrating together. And I also did a lot of impressions. Like I did a lot of funny voices growing up. I was not I wouldn't say a comedian, but I was definitely a weirdo. And uh, doing when you do voiceovers and when you can tort your voice to be something that it's not, it's actually puts a lot of strain on your vocal cords. And I did not know this, but all of that and the whispering late at night on the phone, they said that was all like
Yeah.
majorly, so a combination of everything. And at the time I had
Right.
gotten my tonsils removed. My tonsils were like really big, and it was hard to sing around them. And so the combination of all of that was just not a good recipe for continuing to sing healthily. So I essentially taught myself a way to sing and use my muscles so that it sounded the same but wasn't healthy. And so once I got, was coming out on the other end of all of that, I had to reteach myself how to use my muscles and sing, so for the longevity of being able to do it. So it was
So
a
do
lot.
you?
It was a couple
Wow.
years of that. Yeah.
Really? Yeah. I mean, because I have heard some singers who sing in Asian singers who have sung in weddings and stuff, birthday parties, and I've seen them in person. And obviously, when they've sang for months and non-stop, it's affected the vocals. Where
Yes.
then they've
Yes.
had to rest quite a bit, to get
Oh
back
yeah.
to that, to get back to where they were.
Absolutely.
uh, because
And
I think they were singing like non-stop in weddings and stuff, and parties and all sorts of stuff, and obviously their own singing as well. So I think everything was like non-stop, which I think it does affect your vocals. But do you
oh
have to
yeah.
do anything um, health-wise or eat? Do you
Oh
have to be
yeah.
careful what you eat?
I'm so glad you asked this question. Carrie Underwood said in an interview once, because she doesn't drink a drop of alcohol or
Yeah,
smoke or do any of that, she said maybe it was tempting, but in the long run, the ease of her singing and performing makes it worth it. And the way she said it, I am not even touching the way she said it, but it was perfect. Our instrument is actually it's attached to us, and
yeah,
not only is it attached to us, it's used in our speaking and also what we eat. So your question was right on the money. We have to constantly watch what we eat. We have to watch what time we're eating. Like right now, I
yeah,
definitely wouldn't have dinner after a certain time late at night, or make sure to eat dairy to kind of cover it up. Like there's so many different things. If you are singing every day, it's very important to drink so much water that it's almost
Definitely.
like a
Yeah.
gallon a day. And I also have a steamer, like a personalized steamer that you would charge, and then it's just like purified water that
Yeah.
that you can steam, and that really helps as well. But just overall, taking care of your body makes it a lot easier to do all of the activities and to be able to perform just about every day or every day.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. That is a good idea. Actually, yeah. Definitely. Water is very important to drink. And yeah, like you said, so obviously it's not an singing is not it's not like an office job where it's 9 to 5 and then you clocked out and then that's it. Then because singing is probably a 24/7 thing. Um, may,
Yes, yes.
yeah. So
Obviously,
do,
obviously I sleep. Like I get sleep at night. But it's definitely like from the time I wake up till I tend to stop working around 9 or 9:30. I mean, obviously, if we're performing, then it looks like 11 or midnight. That by the time we're getting home and settled in. But yeah, it's long days, but they always say it never feels like work if you're doing your passion. You don't work a day in your life, you know?
yeah, absolutely. And you're doing something which you like you said, you've been wanting to do it since you were at such an early age. So for you, it's not a job. It's like you said, it's a passion for yourself. So you're doing something which you always wanted to do. So even those long hours don't seem like long hours to you. It's like you're doing it like it's a passion, it's a hobby. It's yeah. So
Yeah, and I think the thing that maybe would feel the most like a job in doing this, being in the music industry, is the booking. It's the email part, and
yeah,
they're taking days. Make sure you make making sure you take days where you're doing admin hours and admin blocks for about 4 or 5 hours. So you can call and email because it's um it's a lot more work when you travel outside of town. But there's something just super rewarding about going to, like next week we'll be going to New York and doing a run, or in October
yeah.
going to Montana, or and then at the end of October going to Florida. It's something that I definitely look forward to, so I think it's worth the work and the planning and the admin hours that you take to make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, what you said there is that the plan. Then you're going to those kind of places for the new singles. Obviously, it's like you said, it's an album which is coming out. What's the album called?
Yes, you can, which is a super positive mantra that spiraled from my single Gotta Do. And
Yeah,
Gotta Do, in the bridge, it says, don't listen to the haters saying, no, you can't, no, you can't. Smile in your heart, because yes, you can. And it's
yeah,
basically saying, like, whatever you want to do in this life that you are super passionate about, go make that happen. And, like, choose to do that. Like, for you, I'm sure you always want to do a podcast, and now you have this going, and it's so much fun. And I need to comment also on,
yeah.
like, the talent spotlight and all of this whole border that you got going on is really cool. But
Thank you.
it's that's what it's about. It's just like going after it, and don't listen to anybody else that tell you that you can't do it. I firmly believe that if you put your heart and your mind
Yeah,
into something, you can do it.
it is. It is. It is. Yeah, well, I think quickly mention this because we are talking by yourself here, but quickly mention that yeah, it was either do something else which is going to give me the passion to do something else, or it was continue doing something else which I was doing for about 9, 10 years, but I had lost the passion for. So it's like it's either A or B, and I went for the second one because I thought if I don't have passion to do it, then I'm not doing something for the sake of doing it. I need to do something else, which is, yeah,
Yes,
which
and
is
follow the passion. I mean, it can,
all of it.
like, you, for you it can change. Like for anybody it can change, you know.
Yeah,
Um Someone could be like, I want to own a boutique, and then 5 years later they're like, now I want to do this. Like,
yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
cool. Maybe
Definitely.
that
Definitely.
boutique, that the reason why that was planted in your heart was because it allowed you to get X amount of funds so that you can go do the next chapter. So it, whatever it looks like for each individual, I think don't be afraid to explore that. And I truly think that people underestimate when you go down a lane without passion, and then when you go down a lane with passion, how much of a difference the output can be. You know,
Yeah,
when you're actually
that's true.
working in something that you want to be doing, it's a big difference in the output and how much you're getting done.
It is. It is. Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. It is because if you're doing something, whether that's full time or part time, and you're enjoying it, then when you're doing that and on there, then it doesn't feel like even if you do it and you put work into it, it doesn't feel like you're putting any work into it because you're enjoying what you're doing in that whatever that area may be. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of girls and people in general will be getting inspiration from yourself, and obviously who
Oh,
may want to even get into music. And looking at those comments, and you probably can see this as well on here, there's so many comments coming which came saying that they love your one said, I think Gloria Duchess said she loves the CD.
I love that.
And yeah, and obviously, and I think Clay Maverick has said
I need
we need
Bird
a
at least
song
once a day.
once a month, once a day, once a day.
Yes,
Wow.
yes. I love it. Thank
So
you, Clay.
so it's so looking at that, you are creating a nice fan base and for yourself, and on the and what about the YouTube channel and the Facebook? Who handles all that and
That's me.
makes it? Is it
That's
yourself?
me. I
Wow.
have some people that will help me make graphics. I make some of my own graphics and videos.
Right.
But I just recently posted like a recap video from the festival on my Instagram and Facebook, and that was done by somebody up in Wisconsin, JD Ivy Media, and that's beyond my realm of what I can do. But he did such a good job at following me around with the camera, and then within 2 days creating this recap that was just beautiful. That was, I was able to share what my experiences was like going home to my home state and doing a festival like that.
Yeah.
So really cool, but I definitely didn't do that myself. But yeah, otherwise than that, I get graphics or ask people for graphics, and then I can go post them and share them. But I'm running my own social media right now.
All right. Okay.
So if you
So
message me, it's me.
it's yourself. It's no one else who
Right.
sounds who is saying that
Who
she's
talks like
Kirsty.
me,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. I did come
Exactly.
across
Yeah.
a Facebook. There have been some imposters that have come up recently on social
Wow.
media, and thankfully my thirsties are like on top of it, and they are reporting them. And so there might be like a Facebook page out there right now. I noticed it the other night, and
Oh
hopefully
no.
that's been taken care of. But I'm sure that will happen more and more in the future. And as long as you see uh, the the social media handles that are just my name, this just my name right here, that's me.
Yeah, I've noticed on Facebook, though I'm not blaming Facebook for this, but obviously, I guess there are some people who love to pretend they're someone else.
Yeah,
And I've received, to be honest, personally, I've received messages from saying I'm this female artist or I'm this, and then, or can you help me? And I'm like, yeah, definitely not that artist, because you wouldn't
Yeah.
be asking me for help. That's for sure. Because you're already at that level, and music artists, they don't do that anyway. Everybody knows that, because obviously, the way they are and the way they perform for the fans. But then, obviously, you just uh, obviously I just ignored it and I just blocked them and removed them.
Yeah.
But yeah, and no, actually, that was on Twitter. I had a few on Twitter who did that to me. But yeah, it happens on Twitter as well sometimes. But so you have to be careful. And if anybody does that, for anybody who is listening, be careful not to share any personal information to them, because you have to be careful these days as well with that. Um, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's so crazy how prevalent that is and how many people are impersonating themselves as somebody else. But we're in 2021, so you just never know.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things. One is, I think maybe some kind of jealousy there. Okay, they're famous now. Let me try to use their limelight a bit. And second is see if I can earn a few quick bucks, a bit of money along the
Yeah.
way from people, scam them a bit. So yes, absolutely, just report it to social media, Twitter, Facebook, wherever it's happening. Just report it straight away. That's the main thing to do. So where can people? I know that people can find you on Facebook, because obviously that's where where I found you on Facebook, on the recommendation on Facebook.
Nice.
Are you on Twitter as well, and
I
Instagram?
I am on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and
Wow, TikTok.
YouTube. And so basically, if you go to kirstiekraus.com, there's all of the social media links on there.
Wow,
And to my Instagram, there's a special link in the bio, and that's kind of linked to everything. So that's including my clothing sponsor, my clothing line with my clothing sponsor, Cowboy Outlets, and also the new bird T-shirts and all that good
wow.
stuff. So I would say if you're gonna message me on Instagram. That's kind of the one that I get back to the fastest. That and Facebook. So if you're gonna message me there.
I w- Seriously, when I sent you the message on Facebook, I didn't know whether I thought, okay, I'll send her a message, and I was, because, and this is no disrespect to yourself, but obviously some artists, obviously they are a lot busy. They have a very, very, very heavy schedule, and
Mm-hmm.
they can't respond back. And they have other people to respond back to as well, like their
Yeah.
own media people. So I was thinking, I don't know if it will, if it'll get to Kirsty or not, this message, or it'll get to somebody else, and then they'll
And it
say
did.
they respond on behalf of Kirsty, or am I not getting response, because obviously due to the heavy schedule or so. But when you came back straight away, I'm like, wow, I was
Yeah.
really surprised.
It's
But I thought, wow, that's great.
I would say it's a testament. I'm a very organized person, and as you notice, I use this thing called Calendly now. As of my
Yeah,
company told me about it as of like a month ago, and it's the free version. It only does 15-minute windows, but I'm to get around that, I'm just like if you can see multiple 15-minute windows in a row, let's do it. So that's been really helpful rather than
yeah,
sitting at my computer and looking back and forth on my two screens to like compare my schedule. It's just like it's always changing. I think I'm at the point where it's just moving around enough where it's way faster to just send people that link and have them
yeah,
pick out in my schedule when they need that time. So
yeah.
it's been huge.
That's so. You know what? I didn't even know how to use that until you told me. And you said click on that link and book on that, and I'm like, what is this exactly? Because I had never used that,
Yeah,
um,
I just
the
meant
schedule and stuff. Uh, what I was doing was, because obviously, usually, most weeks, apart from last week, I didn't have an interview, but most weeks I do have interviews. And obviously, I was just making a notes of the people who I was interviewing and stuff, but I'm not using a calendar, though I should use a calendar. But knowing me, trying to find the shortcut and just save, just make a list of people who I'm interviewing and stuff, which I don't recommend. But anyways, I don't recommend doing that.
I'm
But
always looking for like the
that's
best way to do something, like the
yeah,
shortcut, the best
exactly.
way.
But I think I probably will use that going forward, um,
Yeah.
because it is a good thing. And on my phone, it's both when I clicked on snooze on the calendar reminder. After about 10 minutes later, it sent me another reminder
Oh,
on the phone as
nice,
well. So I'm
nice.
like, yeah. I was thinking, well, why is this? Why are they making so much? My phone's making such a big beep, and
Oh
then I
my
checked.
gosh.
It was a calendar. Yeah.
Well, there you
So
go. Multiple notifications, another reason why to
multiple,
use it.
multiple.
I just
Absolutely.
met a girl. I just met a girl in Cedarburg, Wisconsin, and she followed up with me and she was like, "Hey, do you want to play my wedding in October of 2023?" And I was like,
Wow.
"Yeah, here's my calendar. Like, let's get on a phone call and talk about everything you want
Honestly,
for your wedding." And so
that's
she
crazy.
signed up, and I get an email. So I get an email
Wow.
when people sign up for the time, and it's
Okay.
also put on my calendar. So it's I get like I get it added to my calendar automatically, and then I get an email that they signed up for time. So it's been really helpful, and I also don't want to spill the beans too much, but there is the Madison Area Music Awards for my hometown that is coming up, and I just got a message about being a part of it as like an alumni that has moved away and doing something special with other alumni who are either in Nashville or LA. And I was able to be like, yep, let's get on a Zoom. Here's my link. Like, figure out when it can work for everybody. Here's my calendar.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow. That's absolutely great. That's a great thing to do, guys.
Thank you,
Uh,
Maria.
yeah. And another comment here. So absolutely, they're coming through, and and I think when it comes to social media, that's the good thing about social media. If you're using it for the right reasons, social media can help you bring that fan
Yes.
base. Yeah, even for this podcast. Uh, the fan base is important for anything, uh, for the fans and the viewers there. So that's absolutely great, and there are still many people of your fans which who are watching this so already,
Awesome.
and we will obviously, once it becomes daylight in the UK, then I will reshare this on social media again.
Awesome. I
On
do want to give a shout out before we wrap. Um,
We
I
we were
have
planning we were planning about 45 minutes, but we dragged it to
Oh,
about
we're
an hour.
talkers. We're talkers. I found out today, I was just at a hair appointment and he was able to get me in today, especially before a trip. And I found out that my hair guy, not only has he had numerous clients, but one of his clients was June Carter and Johnny Cash. Uh,
Wow.
the last 2 years of Johnny's life, and he was over at their house doing their hair, and June was making chicken and dumplings, and he was like, "What are you doing over there?" And she's like, "I'm just trying to matter." And he said he's literally taken that to heart and used every day, just trying to be the best version of himself, and just try to matter in this world because June Carter said that to him. And he also said he had some cowboy boots of Johnny Cash's, and I'm like,
Wow.
I was this close to asking him if I could try on those cowboy boots just for a second, but I ended up having to run. So next time I'll ask him about the boots. But I just thought that was really cool, especially recently. I watched the Walk the Line movie with Johnny Cash and June Carter, and so
Yeah.
it was like full circle moment to hear that they were his clients, and it was just super fun.
Oh, that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
That you had that opportunity for for someone like that. That's such amazing. That's amazing thing that is. To have that and on the and going forward, I'm sure there will be people who will have an opportunity with yourself going forward. I'm sure as well. But you obviously you've got lots of music to make, uh, and a lot of the audience are going to be looking forward to it. So, do you how far ahead are you planning at the moment? What's the plan like?
Ooh, like I'm looking at 2022 and 2023. Now that things are slowly kind of coming back to normal, but still a little bit unsure. It's hard to plan.
Yeah,
If the world was normal, I'd be looking into late 2022 and into 23. That's kind of how much in advance you kind of always have to be
yeah,
planning. But yeah, but there's still, we're still picking up shows whenever we can. So if we pick up another show in the Montana area during our trip, awesome, awesome, bring it on, like all of it. So I'm just really thankful for every single show that we get. I'm thankful that I get to still be able to do live music, especially after being locked in our homes and being inside and not knowing what was going on at all. It's nice to be out and to be performing.
so so how was it like when you were locked in your house and
Oh my gosh.
there was a lockdown? How did you manage that,
Oh,
or was it your singing which helped you at the time
oh
to?
yeah. It was also the record that I was releasing helped me. I got everything printed in February, right before lockdown, and I was able to deliver that to the mailboxes of the people who did the Kickstarter in April of 2020. And to be able to deliver them and then start seeing their messages back to me of when they heard the record for the first time, like Gloria commented, I love the CD. Um, it was
Yeah,
great. And then yes, thank you, Gloria. I did so much streaming. I basically streamed not every day, but we streamed when we were practicing. We streamed when we were writing songs. Like we have a stream out there on YouTube where we were literally writing a song. And then we did a regular Thirsty Thursdays because thirsty rhymes with Kirstie. So we had them
yeah,
do a Thirsty Thursday live stream every Thursday. And that was something that I really truly look forward to. Like that was the whole reason why I got dressed and put on makeup, and we would just throw up the cameras and start, and it was really cool to have people be a part of that because sometimes on Thursdays we would take requests or we would try new songs and maybe biff a little bit or whatever, but the beauty about it was that it was live and we were hanging out together like creating music, and people could be in that raw moment of us trying something on the spot. And there
yeah,
was a lot of that, and that kept me going. It challenged me in the ways that I missed not being on stage and performing. It that was able to like put myself on the spot and challenge myself. That made it so I was still being stimulated for sure. We
yeah.
had a great time. Yes.
Yeah, I noticed something on your Facebook page as well, where you've said that I think you're interviewing other artists and stuff. How did that come about? And how did that idea come about? Where you're interviewing other artists and stuff, and how?
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's a good question. I was on the show. The show
yeah,
is called the Backstage Pass, powered by the Sports Guys podcast,
okay,
and they're about to announce it. But we just added another team member today, like a couple hours ago. So I'm super excited to meet her in person, and it's another
wow,
female, which is awesome. But Karen Lee, oh gosh, I need to get this right. Karen Lee Batten is now an official member of the team, and so I'm excited to meet her in person. But I was being interviewed, and he asked me if you couldn't do music and didn't do music, and music wasn't even a thing. What would you want to do? You know, what would you want to do? And I said, well, to be honest, something similar like this. Like you're an interviewer. I would love to just interview, essentially be paid to talk to people and interview people and be social because that's I love doing that. It like literally fuels my energy. So that must have struck a nerve because he remembered that. And then the next time I was interviewed on that podcast, he texted me afterwards. He's like, "Hey, I got to talk to you about something." And then he presented me with the opportunity to become a host on their team. So because of that, I've had the opportunity to interview Lawrence from the Sticks and
wow.
some big artists, and that has been really fun to be like connected with musicians that maybe I've never heard of that I am now drawn to their music, and also people that have graced the stages like the Opry, which is what I'm trying to get to, and just
Yeah.
with big PR companies. It's just been really cool, and some of these relationships of people that I've interviewed, I've now gotten to ask to be on my shows and live performances in Nashville, and they say yes because they remember me from me interviewing them. So it's been super cool to be able to have that avenue to be connected as
So
well.
is that done via your Facebook page or is it done via somewhere?
Yeah, it's done via Facebook,
Facebook, right?
and we use StreamYard, very similar
Okay,
to
StreamYard, yeah,
yeah,
there you go.
yep.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. That's the main one I use as well, StreamYard, which we're on at the moment as well. On there. So yeah, absolutely. Wow. Because I just quickly came across that before, before we came on air, and I thought, wow, this seems very interesting what you're doing on there. Among the other stuff which you're doing, obviously singing and stuff, this is another thing which you're doing, which is very interesting.
Yeah, like another bucket. I've always been really outgoing, and they are because the creator of the Backstage Pass is he does sports as well, and artists and
Yeah,
comedians. I tend to just help as a host on the artist side, but
right,
he's based out of Texas, and he is planning. We are in the works of planning for him to have come to Nashville during big weeks, like during big events. One of them being CRS, which is Country Radio Seminar, that
right,
happens in February, and then one being CMA Fest that happens in June, which is the Country Music Association Festival, and he will have we're in the planning of it right now, but he'll come and then we will have our setup and we will interview artists live in person, which I am super excited about, and
wow.
they're laying groundwork for that right now, and so it's going to be really fun.
So what time is it? Is it early down there in Nashville now? What time are
Right
you?
now it is 8:17 p.m. It's
PM.
probably it's
Okay.
like 2:07, right? 2 for
Two
you.
seventeen. Yeah, exactly. 2:17 down here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's the first time. Even though I stay awake, it's my first interview I'm doing at this time now.
Okay, well,
Ever.
I'm happy to be your first, and I'm glad it kept you awake.
Yeah. No, I thought after 2 o'clock I may get really tired. but yeah, it's not been that bad actually. It's been good. It's been all right actually. So yeah. So regarding
Awesome.
that, yeah, it's been good. So after this, have you like finished for the day after this, or you have to do other stuff as well?
I am going to be done for the day. I might dive into some Hulu because I was told today that there is a new mini series with Selena Gomez in it, and it's like a weird murder mystery thing. So I'm interested in that, but I have a couple of like cleaning up
Wow,
stuff to do in the house. We're in the middle of moving and just making this place super homey. So just some house chores, and then I'm gonna call it done.
wow,
Yeah.
you're still active at 80.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, that's very impressive. That's very impressive. That is, even though you've had such a busy day, you still got plan. You're still pretty active at 8:17,
Yeah, well,
eight
my
eighteen.
boyfriend right now, he's performing till 10 p.m. downtown,
Wow,
so he will actually at a place called Redneck Riviera. So he'll actually get home probably around 10:40, 10:30, and then he'll have dinner and then he'll wind down. So he's on a different schedule than me. I don't normally perform that late, but when he does, I try to have still be up, you know.
okay, wow. That's great, guys. So both of you are in singing as well. So
Oh
that makes it even
yes.
more interesting. Wow.
I feel like it would be really hard to be with someone who doesn't understand this industry. I haven't come across this personally, but I know that a lot of musicians find it hard to be with someone who doesn't understand their love for music because it's
Yeah.
almost like their significant other will question, like, do you love me or music more? And
That
nobody should
kind of,
ever put you in that position to answer that question because it's a different kind of a love, but there's definitely a lot of sacrifices that need to be made. And I can't even tell you how many things I've missed over the years, birthdays, people's baby showers, weddings, for music related stuff. And although that's tough and like breaks my heart, it's just comes with the nature of the beast. It's one of the sacrifices to
yeah,
make. Yeah, so it's
yeah,
it's
I've
nice
heard
to be
that.
with somebody who understands that.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. That music artists and people in that in the entertainment sector, they do have to make those kind of sacrifices. But obviously, in the long run, people who are close to you, they will understand uh, why you can't attend those stuff. They'll understand it straight away. The people who are genuinely nice, close to you, and nice people, they'll know that okay,
Yeah,
uh, they have to do this because that's the it's more than a job. It's a passion. It's something which it takes more than 8 hours in a day to do.
right,
So,
right.
well,
I think if people really want me to attend their wedding, they'll tell me way before the save the dates come out what the date is.
exactly.
So then I can plan in advance and maybe make a trip out of it and schedule shows with it. So while we're there for the weekend, we're also playing to kind of to make it so we're still working but able to go, and that makes it a lot easier to attend. But it's tough. It's
Yeah.
definitely tough.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be. Yeah, I can imagine. It must be tough. Uh, to do to make those sacrifices and stuff, and not attend some stuff which you may want to attend. Definitely on them, but yeah, definitely in the long run, you're getting to those where you want to get to, and I suppose that's comes down to it is the main. definitely the main thing, and which most people inspired to do. They want to get to that certain level in their lives, and so
Oh,
on the
great. Thank you
yeah.
so much. I absolutely loved performing at Country in the Bird. So, like, it was the best time. So, thank you for connecting with me and coming on here. That's awesome.
Yes, and the comments are still coming through at even. So you can tell that people are totally logged on to what you're doing, and they've seen you perform and stuff, and you're keeping track on there. Yeah, probably I guess rather than make this interview into like a soap opera, uh, we probably will need to. And yeah, come to the near the end of the interview soon.
Yes.
On there, not that I want to, but,
I know.
because
I
it
can't believe
is
it.
really interesting and it's really good, but obviously the duration has already gone to about 1 hour 20 minutes, or I didn't even realize it went that long. So wow,
We just talkers. We're talkers.
we are talkers on there,
I'm
and
looking up your Instagram right now. There you are. All right, following and retweeting. Got it.
Instagram.
I'm also live on Instagram. Thank you so much for tonight and for reaching out to me to do this interview. I feel honored, and thank you for all that you do to feature female talent and on your pages. And I'm
Yeah,
very honored to be one of the U.S. artists that are featured on your page. So thank you so much for having me.
yeah, and for anyone, and because obviously I will reshare this tomorrow, in the morning tomorrow. I will reshare this on the Facebook and everywhere else. So just to quickly mention that obviously, Kirstie Kraus website is kirstiekraus.com, where you can find her. Yeah, which is below, exactly as it shows on there, Kirstie Kraus. So you can find every information on there regarding, and her music is available everywhere from Spotify. It's available everywhere, and you can check her video out on YouTube as well, and obviously
Yes.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and she's on TikTok. Even though I can't even use TikTok, but there you go. Um,
I
but
am on
I'm not very
TikTok.
good. Yeah, exactly. I'm not good on social media, and I'm just learning. I'm a learner, so and I'm learning the ropes.
Oh, I
So
think this is great. Like they said, this whole border, everything is really cool. So thank you so much, and I
yeah,
will
no
connect.
worries.
I'll add you to my mailing list, and
Thank
we'll
you.
stay connected, and I'll
We
let you
will
know
stay
when I.
connected.
Awesome,
Absolutely, absolutely. No, definitely, I will stay connected to you, Kirsty, because you're a very, very positive artist, and I like positive people,
awesome.
and definitely, and anyone who is positive in that way, especially when I interview them, I definitely want to stay connected to people like that, and you
Awesome.
can tell,
Amen.
yeah,
Amen.
and definitely on there. So, like I said, guys, check out Kirstie's new single, which is called Bird. It is amazing. I've already watched it, and it's amazing. And I'm gonna watch it again tomorrow. And it is absolutely amazing. So Kirstie Cross, thank you very much. It's been actually an honor to
Thank
bring you
you.
on here.
Oh,
It's been great on there, and I'm definitely going to download the single for sure.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm not just saying this. I am definitely going to download it because yeah, and this is going to be on my MP3 when I'm going for those long walks.
Oh, yes, bird.
But
Thank you for
yeah,
everyone who tuned in. Have a good night, and we will see you very soon.
we will see you very soon, and I will obviously email you to remind you to share me any links or whatever, so
Perfect.
I can then forward it on onto
Awesome.
onto my pages. So yeah, thank you very much, Kirstie, and enjoy the rest of the day and the weekend and everything.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.